more of an Arsenal question, but JK, you might have thoughts on this. Do you think Mikel Arteta is a world-class manager or has potential to be a world-class manager? What do y'all think personally? JK, you can go first if you want, since Mac went
Oh,
first.
I mean, it's a very tricky question because like the case of Mikel Arteta is something that is very um is a strange case. So it's like he's not won much, but then I saw a stats yesterday that Arteta in the past 5 years has spent more days as first in the Premier League than Guardiola, but Guardiola has managed to win four Premier Leagues in the past 5 years. So it's a strange case where it's like we know what he can do, but he just never does it. And I feel like to be a world class manager, you have to do it. He's a great manager. He's just right there. Like he's even if it's another FA Cup or like the Prem, rather, if just a Prem, like I feel like that'll put him in that category. But the amount of times for you to get so close to doing it and not to doing it, it's more of like for you to be a world class manager, you also have to have that like you have to, if you are going to start it, you have to know how to end it, you have to know how to finish it.
I think the argument of world class is like very touchy. It's a touchy subject, especially when it comes to managers. And I feel like he's not world class. That's my personal view on it. I mean, I've been watching Arteta and Arsenal for close to 7 years now. He came in 2019 December, pushing 7 years this year. And the only thing he's won that is major is an FA Cup. And to be in that caliber, that category of managers that are top, you need to win trophies. It's the simple fact. You need to win trophies that actually matter. I mean, you can't rise a CV, want to go to a big club like Madrid, and your CV just reads FA Cup. It doesn't work that way. For a world class manager, you need to have maybe a Prem under your table, maybe an UCL under your belt, maybe a European trophy like a Europa League, or you have a couple of those trophies under your belt to be considered world class. An FA Cup isn't really going to cut it. I would argue, though, in terms of developing players, his signings and his intelligence when it comes to tactics, he's a world class coach. He can't get it over the line, though, but he's a world class coach in that regard. He signed players for cheap, transformed them into amazing players. I'm not sure if he signed Saliba, but the way he developed Saliba, amazing. Loaned him out to Marseille, brought him back to Arsenal, became the best centre back in the world. The way he developed Raya came for 20 million, 25 million or something, developed into one of the best keepers in the world. Gabriel too developed Gabriel into one of the best centre backs in the world. Brought in Timber for 30 million. Barely anyone knew his name. He's one of the best right backs in the world. Saka developed him, transformed him from the left back role into the right wing role. Boom. So in terms of developing players, it's very obvious Arteta is there. He's at a world class level. I mean, these players perform at a worldly level every single week, week in, week out. In terms of tactics too, I mean, he takes an inspo of Pep, but it's playing well for him because those same tactics is the reason why he's first in this and first in that. But the main issue here is that he can't cross over that line of being first for so amounts, and when it comes to April, May times, he can't cross that line. So I feel like till he crosses that line, maybe in the nearest future, then I can guarantee him world class. Till then, I don't think he is as an Arsenal fan.
Bruh.
Next question is Palmer or Saka? Jesus Christ, man. Palmer or
Palmer.
Saka?
Saka has been playing first team football longer than Palmer has, but then in the short time that Palmer has been playing first team football, I think I would argue that what's the word? I would argue that he has experienced more individual success and team success as well as having those big game moments as well. Um, I think there are two ways you can look at it. You can look at it from a career perspective, and you can look at it from how good are they as a footballer. In my opinion, Palmer's an excellent shooter. He's very good when it comes to passing, vision. He has an eye for the ball. He can finish. He's like what you want in an attacking midfielder or sometimes as a right winger. And I think the fact that he's doing this with his own body archetype, like he's like 6'2", and he's not like the most muscular guy, but then he's still able to find his way. But then when you now look at it, like when you look at Saka's, in my opinion, Saka's decision making I think there are only like one or two people if he's not like number one in decision making. What I like about Saka is that nine out of 10 times he's going to do the right thing, whether it's to move the ball that extra 1 meter or run that extra mile or hold off the defender or give the pass when the pass needs to be given. So I think that's one thing that's very underrated with Saka's game. But then, unfortunately, when you ask when you go into conversations like this, is like the most symbolistic thing is like, okay, what have they won? How, like, what have they done? What is that thing that they have achieved? And in Palmer's short time, I mean, like, the records speak for themselves. His man of the match performance against PSG. In the Euros, he was coming off the bench and delivered every time. Had proven Southgate wrong. Carried Chelsea on his back 2 seasons. Only player in Premier League history to score 4 goals in a half. He scored 20 Premier League goals in his first professional, like, full season. Saka has never scored 20 Premier League goals in a season. So, but it's an interesting conversation. But to me, I just think Palmer edges it because of his accomplished more, and I just think he's the better player.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like it's very touchy when you want to talk about something like this because there's different ways you can approach this topic. Because you say, okay, what have they won? Palmer, this guy is a treble winner. I mean, he won the treble with City. Let's not phase away from that. Sure, he wasn't involved as much. People try to take that away from the conversation. So we go into Chelsea. He's won the Club World Cup at Chelsea. Man of the match in the final, like you said. I mean, the big games he clearly shows that this guy can perform. I mean, assisted, what was it? Ollie Watkins? Did he assist Ollie Watkins against Netherlands? Yeah, he did. In the final as well, he scored. Very good goal as well. And like games like this, moments like these, is where you actually ask yourself or tell yourself, this guy's definitely world class. This guy's a great player. Scored 20 goals in the Premier League season as well. I feel like Saka hasn't peaked like that yet. He hasn't peaked like that yet. And I feel like for the 23-24 season for Palmer, I can use the big fish, small pond arguments. Palmer and that team was the main guy who was Chelsea was literally feeding this guy. This is the only guy with individual ability in the team as of now. Okay, everyone else had dipped in form. He's the only guy that can take us out of this bad stint of ours. Let's try and aid him as much as possible. And that's what they were doing the entire season, which is why he was getting a lot of goals. He was even put on pens. Turns out he's amazing at pens, scoring, assisting, doing everything for the team in the midfield, and even right wing, did some shifts in the right wing. So Palmer, in that regard, what we've seen from him individually in the Premier League season, one of the best in the past. Let me say, in the past, in this century, no, not this century, this decade, the 2020s, one of the best we've seen in the Premier League. The dominance he had that 23-24 season, almost unmatched. And for Saka's been doing bare bits for Arsenal since he broke through the, the professional world. 2019, when he came through, wasn't playing as much. 2020 wasn't playing as much. 2021, Arteta started to slowly trust Saka, puts him on the right wing. But the issue with Saka not getting as much GA, and I see people bring this a lot, Saka doesn't get that much GA. But it needs to be context to apply to this because Saka he does way too much as an Arsenal player. If you watch Arsenal, Saka goes to the midfield, Saka goes to the right wing. He inverts the striker, he inverts the left wing, he goes back to left back, come back to midfield, go back to the right wing. Arteta makes this guy do so much that it's so difficult to put him on a plateau or platform him in that Arsenal squad. The same way Liverpool platform Salah, for example. How much defensive work do you see Salah do in that Liverpool side? Not that much. Saka is not platformed as well as these players for their clubs, like Haaland, Salah, your Palmers, etc., etc. He's not platformed, so therefore the GA arguments doesn't really suit him because he's not going to get that much GA. It's very obvious. But performance-wise, turning up, doing stuff without the GA even concerning the matter, Saka's been there for Arsenal for a solid 5 or 6 years now, and it's not even debatable. You could argue who's the better player. I think it's either or because they're both very, very not similar in terms of play style, but in terms of what they've done for their team's individual ability, they're very similar. They've carried their team on their backs. They they've had high GA seasons, Saka 23-24, getting 27 GA, Palmer in 23-24, I believe as well, got over 30 GA. So yeah, I think they're very similar in terms of what they've done for their clubs. But as a player overall for their careers, I think Palmer's been better than Saka. I mean, no one's gonna. Let's look in 5 years. Saka's won nothing, and in 5 years, Palmer in that 5 year span. 2026 to 2031, he's also won nothing. History is going to be nicer to Palmer. I mean, the guys won a treble. The guys won a Club World Cup, winning the man of the match against the treble winners who were PSG at the time. So
Yeah,
yeah, like that's really the way to view it.
yeah. I think at the end of this season, though, if Arsenal is able to, because Saka, I think what I admire about Saka sometimes is the fact that he's always been the guy. He's like, okay, we need a goal, we need somebody to do something. They're not looking to anybody else. They're looking to Saka. Even if sometimes, like, I think for like the past 3 seasons, you could say there were many a time where Odegaard was Arsenal's best player, where you could say Rice was Arsenal's best player. But then, even when it comes down to it, they're still not looking to those guys. For like when Arsenal played PSG in the Champions League, they were looking to Saka. They were like, this is the guy that's going to be able to. And I feel like sometimes they just have to put some respect on his name, because when you actually add the context, sometimes it's like, yeah, he does a lot more work than the average right winger should be doing. So obviously, something like GA is not going to be that easy to come by. But I feel like maybe at the end of the season, if Arsenal is able to make a trade to, then
Hmm.
you know he can be put into some
Yeah,
conversations.
yeah, totally, yeah, for sure.
I feel like that was more than fair. I'm gonna ask y'all one more question before we get into the game on Sunday. I'm
Hmm.
basically just gonna do all-time 11, propose players
Oh,
myself. Like I'll be like Drogba, Henry, and you guys tell me who you pick, and then we'll fill up the team like that. All right, Peter Cech or Lehman?
check, check.
Peter check.
Cech.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I know it's layman, but like it's Peter check, man. The
No,
guy
I
is
feel
just
Peter Cech is the greatest
Peter check.
prem keeper ever, bro. Like it's not a debate in
Hmm.
my opinion. Lauren or Ivanovic or Aspie?
I'm taking Aspi.
I'm
You know how I feel
wait,
about Aspi.
Ivanovic or Lauren.
You
Oh,
could go
Ivanovic.
Aspie if you want. Aspie
Oh,
or Ivanovic. I don't know who's the best for Chelsea fans. I feel like I should bring up both of them.
I think
I don't know.
Ivanovic was when you look back and go see Ivanovic, he was quite underrated. I feel like not enough people talk about him, but Aspilicueta, man, that's where it
We
gets
we
difficult.
rate Aspi higher because he was captain at a point as well. He was a
Exactly, yeah.
so,
I can understand why they rate him higher. So I'll go Aspie. Yeah, I've seen more of Aspie anyway. So
yeah.
Aspilicueta, yeah.
Um, okay. Let's go to center backs. John Terry or Tony Adams.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was speaking about this earlier as well, bro. Like, I would like if I go to my dad and ask him right now, I'd probably say Tony Adams because Tony Adams' ability wise was better. He was better on the ball than John Terry. Like from what he's told me, at least he's watched both of these players. But based on what I've seen, I probably have to go with Terry. I need to look into Tony Adams more to actually
Mhm.
understand the player he was. So I might say Terry for now. Terry for now.
I mean, the records speak for themselves, though. It's like,
I mean, yeah. I
it's
mean,
like, in my opinion, I feel like the conversation about Terry is like, anytime we bring up Terry and another defender, like for like the past 1 week and a half on Twitter, it's been Terry versus Van Dijk, and I'm like, every time they bring up a Chelsea player against another Prem legend. Suddenly, that Chelsea player was horrible on the ball. The only thing he knew, like for Lampard, I remember like last year was Lampard and who was it? Gerard scores, and they said, "Oh,
Gerard,
Lampard
bro.
only scored pens. He was a crusher." And I'm like, how is Lampard a box crusher when he has the most outside of the box goals in Premier History? So things like that don't make sense. I'm looking at Terry. I'm looking at 15 goals conceded season, most clean sheets for a centre back, most Premier League goals scored for a defender in Premier League history with 41, won the
Context,
Premier League four
context,
times.
context,
I know there's context, but then like when you just
context.
look at that, like most
Yeah,
PF,
when you
I
look
said
at
PFP,
that, yeah,
most party of the years, and it's like he won Premier like whoa, I think it was like I feel like when he started declining though, it was a bad, like horrible decline.
it was a
But
bad
at
one.
the
Yeah,
peak of his powers, at the peak of his powers, like that,
it's
he
fair.
was
It's
he
fair
was
enough.
the rock of that defense. So yeah.
All right.
It's fair,
So to
which is
move
why
on.
I'm gonna give him his credit. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're gonna go with Terry too. So far, I think it's three Chelsea players. Second center back. Let's go Carvalho or So Campbell.
So Campbell,
Oh,
come on, Campbell.
I
Give
mean
me
you could go
Campbell.
Thiago Silva too. if you
Nah,
want.
cause
No,
Campbell,
no.
bro.
See, I feel like Carvalho doesn't get any credits. I think like he's always forgot. He's always the other guy. So Campbell, Premier League legend, obviously. So I'll give this to Campbell. But I feel
Okay.
like 15 goals is crazy. Like you guys
I
like
mean, bro. So Campbell's time in the Premier League for Arsenal and Spurs as well. If you even count them, I don't care about Spurs, but like, bro, the guy, come on, man. This is so Campbell was talking about me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
hear, I hear, I hear
If
what
if
you're
we're
saying about
talking player,
Cavalier, though. I hear what you're saying about Cavalier. He was underrated of the two between him and Terry, so it's fair to
Okay,
yeah.
say.
cool.
I,
So
I
so
found I
far,
found out I found out Carvalho was even on the Porto team that won the UCL.
Yeah, he
Carvalho was
was.
in that
Yeah.
team. Yeah,
Hmm.
he
true.
was in like he's a guy, but then I feel like our generation we don't really know him like that kind of.
I
Hmm.
do think he's
True.
under. I think both of these guys are underrated. To be fair,
Hmm.
with today's
But yeah,
generation,
so Campbell, yeah,
left back. I mean, Ashley Cole played for both
yeah.
clubs.
Ashley
I don't
Cole.
think. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think we gotta.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, we can give it to
I
both
don't
clubs
really.
anyway.
Yeah, I don't really think we gotta get into
Ashley
that.
Cole, man.
Now the midfield three. I feel like y'all want to play with a 10 or with a DM. I feel like we should play with a DM because
Yeah,
both teams have traditionally played with
yeah.
DMs. Okay.
Yeah, DM,
Let's
DM,
go.
DM.
Let's go. Conte or Vieira.
I don't know. See this
Ah,
this
if
coming
you used
on.
Makaleli, I would have really thought about it. You can shift Kante to the 8, I would say.
I feel
It's
like
JK.
But
What do
the
you think
thing
is more
is,
accurate? JK, what do you think is more accurate?
nah, you can't shift
Machiavelli
Kante to
and
the 8. That's a
Conte.
Lampard, bro.
um,
That's what I'm saying. I think it would be Conte, Lampard,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
Ballet
yeah.
think you
maybe.
can use Makalele and Vieira instead.
No,
Okay.
wait. You can put Kante, yeah. But the thing is, I say CDM itself, Vieira is better than Kante, but Kante's a better player than Vieira. So,
I think it's the
yeah,
opposite. To be
I,
fair,
nah, I
really.
don't see. I feel
I
like
don't
if we're
think
looking
so
at
because
if we're
I
looking at
think
in the sure. Let me check
in
for
the
you.
Premier League,
Yeah,
In the
I
Premier
think
League.
I think Conte is better defensively. He's better at ball recovering. He's quicker, like he's more agile. He has more stamina. But if we're talking about football ability going forward, Vieira used to literally put it above niggas' heads. Vieira used to score goals from outside the box. Vieira could
true.
dribble like a number 10. He
Yeah,
could pass like a number
but
8.
then
He
it's
could
like
defend
As
like a
a
number
DM,
6.
though, as a
Like
DM is
no,
just
I
yeah,
think
nothing.
Conte's a better
but
DM,
then
but
it's like
Vieira's a better
I
footballer in
feel
my
like many
opinion. Like a
people
way better footballer.
I feel like many
Vieira's peak
people
was at
only
DM. Kante's peak was at 8,
No,
box
cool.
to
But
box.
Vieira was playing in a 4-4-2. He had much more to do. You know what I
True,
mean? Yo, if you
true,
look
true.
at the old games, like the full 90 minutes, bro, Vieira's the best player on the pitch, better than Henri 90 times, like
Kante
90
played
times
in a
out of 100.
4-4-2 as well at a
I
point.
don't
Can't
think
lie.
that's crazy to say, to be fair. Because if you go back, this guy was
There
flipping it
was a
over
time
everyone, bro.
where Conte
He's by
was
far our
there was
most
a time when
influential
Conte
player in
was
those days. By far our
there
most
was a time
influential
when
player.
Conte was benching Fabregas and we were playing with the midfield two of
How
Vidic
old
and
was
Kante.
Fabregas? How old was Fabregas?
No, like there was a time when he was benching him, and then Conte was playing with a midfield pivot of Nemanja Matic and Kante, and
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Kante
I
was
feel like
still
we should do
really good.
Conte or Vieira, and then Fabregas can get into both, and then Lampard or whoever
oh,
is
I'm
for,
not
you
gonna
know what I
lie,
mean?
bro. Just give me Vieira at this point, because
Nah,
at that specific role, I think Vieira has more IQ than Kante in that specific role. Not trying to
Okay.
discredit Kante in any way, shape, or form, but back and forth. As a CDM, I'm taking Vieira. And like it's nothing against Kante about his defensive ability and everything. But central IQ, I'm taking Vieira. 6'8", 10. He can easily invert as well. He has the defensive IQ and the attacking IQ of a 10, 8, and 6 mixed together. I mean, he's simply that guy when it comes to the middle role. This is the thing. I want to have Kante in this team, but if we're having a Lampard and a Vieira combo link up, there's no way I can have him in the team. It's nothing against Kante, honestly. I feel like it's very close.
I
It
feel
depends who you're playing as well. It really depends who you're playing. Like you're playing a
I feel
low
like
block, you take Vieira.
yeah, I feel like in my opinion, Kante wasn't even a DM. He was a box to box guy, but he was just so good at defending that it was like it couldn't go unnoticed. Like this guy's
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
so extremely good at defending. I feel like if you look at his Premier League career, on Leicester won Premier League. He was practically their best player. I think he won
Facts.
Premier League Player of the Season. He won PFA Players Player of the Year. Came to Chelsea next season, won the Prem
Won the
again.
league. Yeah.
Then won the league. Was in the team of the season as well. Then, if we're talking about the 2021 Champions League run, Kante's road to playing that as a Chelsea player. I don't know.
It's very close, I can't lie.
I feel
Because I
like he
really love
did.
This is
Kante.
the
I feel like
closest. I
throughout
think
his
this is the
whole
closest one so
yeah,
far.
Yeah.
I feel like his whole Chelsea career was like from beginning to end like bar injuries, he was just he there was never a time where we could say, okay, he's
Okay.
dropped a level, like from when he was in
You know,
Leicester to when he was in
Okay.
Chelsea and to
I
in
think
next
that's
year.
more than
So I feel
fair. I
like
think that's
you
more than
know
fair.
what? We can actually have a double pivot now that I think about it. We can have not necessarily a double pivot, yeah, but we can have an 8 and a 6. But like I would
The thing is
genuinely
that Fabregas doesn't make the team.
that's the thing. Fabregas doesn't make the team.
A
I'm gonna
Chelsea
have to
Arsenal
sacrifice
11,
Vieira here, bro.
you have to have Cesc in a
Oh
Chelsea
man.
Arsenal 11. You know what I mean? Like,
I might
I
just
don't
low key
think
have
that
to
makes sense.
sacrifice what's it called, man, Vieira, bro. I might have to
Okay,
take him.
fair
I'm
enough.
sorry
Fair enough.
because the thing is about Kante is that he's played so long in the Premier League in front of my very own eyes. It's very hard to ignore. This
yeah,
guy has done so much stuff. He's won Player of the Year. He's won the league with Leicester, one of the hardest achievements, if not the hardest achievements in Premier League history, by the way. Went to Chelsea, 16-17, transformed his role, went to the A position, won the league again. Hmm? 17-18 repeat the same. Never really had a bad patch. Won the Champions League. I mean, we're not including that, but like, it's an add-on to how great Kante really was. It's very hard to
I
ignore
agree.
all of that when you really just
I
add
agree.
it up together. He spent longer in the Premier League. He was low-key more dominant in the central defensive midfield position role and the A position too, because he swapped those roles between those roles very comfortably. And like, it's very hard to like dismiss what Vieira's done because this guy was a great footballer, man. And like,
yeah, Vieira. I
I'd
think
add him in
Vieira
this
was
team
in
if I
the
wanted
Vieira was
to.
in the Invincibles as well. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
he was
like,
the captain.
he was the captain,
yeah.
yeah.
So one was he was crazy.
It's hard to really dismiss Vieira, man. It
Okay.
depends who you play to. That's what I'm saying.
I
Yeah,
But
think
as
I,
a
I
can we
general
agree.
put
team,
both of them? Can we just say like okay, like because it's that close, it's that close.
it's
Let's
Okay,
that
just
I feel like
close,
that's more
man.
than fair. We'll let them decide in the comments. Second player, let's go Lampard or Gilberto Silva.
Lampard.
Lampard, Lampard.
Lampard, okay. Let's. I think Fabregas makes the team. Played for both
Yeah.
teams. Okay, fair
Fabregas
enough.
makes it, yeah.
On the right, let's go Bukayo Saka or Joe Cole. Who else? Who could I put on
I
the right
mean,
side?
yeah,
I'll take
give it.
Saka for the
I'll take
culture.
Saka. Yeah, I'll take Saka. I'll take Saka. Yeah,
Okay, okay. Up top, let's go Henri or Drogba.
Henry,
I'll take
Henry,
Henri. Yeah,
Okay, and then on the left, let's go Perez or Eden Hazard.
give me
Hazard.
Hazard.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hazard.
I feel like that's
Yeah,
more than fair. I'll put the team up. Y'all let
very
us know
fair.
if y'all would change anything in the comments.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Before we get off, quick score prediction for Sunday. JK, what do you think?
Um, this is so hard. We haven't won. See, I don't want to take too much of your time, but we genuinely haven't beat
Just
Arsenal. Like,
tell me what
bro, we
you
haven't won.
genuinely think. Tell me what
What
you
do you
genuinely
genuinely
think.
think in your heart,
I
man?
don't. You don't have to explain it. What do you genuinely think?
Bro. 2-1 Chelsea. 2-1 Chelsea.
Okay, Mac, what do you think?
It's gonna be a very tough game. I feel like it's gonna be just 2-1 Arsenal. I'm gonna predict the people who are gonna score: João Pedro for Chelsea and Saka and Gyökeres for Arsenal.
I'm
Hey, bet. I
saying
would love to see Gyökeres score against
I'm
Chelsea. I would
saying
love
Palmer
it.
penalty and
Of
probably
course,
an own
of
goal.
course, a pen. Of course, a pen.
Man, look, come
Yeah,
on,
Palmer
that's
You
penalty
using
and
can't
picture.
even. You can't
Palmer
even
penalty and
predict
probably
otherwise.
an
You
own
can't
goal.
even predict otherwise.
I'm just saying,
You
chill.
can't even
Hey, I
envision him
bet
scoring a real goal. You can't even see it.
Palmer brace. One is a penalty and one is a normal goal. And
Okay.
I don't know who should I be. I want to say an odd guy. Nah, Declan Rice screamer. Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate y'all for coming on. Like and
All right, man.
subscribe. Follow us on our socials. We'll be back next week.